Hey guys, so happy to have you here on the podcast and the YouTube channel. Make sure that if you like to consume this like while you're driving, of course the podcast is the way to go. But if you have a chance to sit down and watch me, I can't recommend enough the YouTube channel. It's just youtube.com/Carina Gardner, and I would love to see you there. If you're hanging out with me on YouTube, my desk drawer always likes to open, so it's just gonna float open once in a while here, so you might see it move. Okay, today I want to talk about how design really isn't all lollipops and rainbows. And this came up because recently I was talking to someone who was like, I just thought it was gonna be like, I enjoy it. There are definitely some hard things, but like I thought it was gonna be like all fun all the time. And I think we expect that, especially because we're artists and we're creatives, and we think that it's going to be this really fun thing that we're doing all the time, right? If those of you who have either read the book at this point or gotten it, and or listened to even the last few podcasts I've done where I'm talking about like design process and a few other things like that, you'll know that design really isn't all lollipops and rainbows. And here's the kicker. I'm glad it's not, you guys. I am glad it is not, which sounds really funny because I think a lot of it really is lollipops and rainbows. Like, I just love design, and I love like actually getting on my computer, sitting down to design. I have been in the midst of several brand new collections that some of you may or may not have seen come out yet. We haven't decided entirely when everything's coming out, but we've got a lot of cool things up in the works. And it's just like when I can dig in and actually make the stuff, like for me, it feels like lollipops and rainbows. However, there are all these things that are part of owning a design business that don't feel easy. They feel like the hurdles, right? They feel like challenges. And the reason I'm glad those exist is because it's like the divider, okay? From the people who really, really want this and the people who don't. I think there are lots of you that are extremely talented. And what I am hoping you're doing is you're jumping over those hurdles and you're enjoying the happy creative pieces of it, the unicorn pieces of it, right? But then digging into the hard parts of it. I have a peer-led mastermind, and in that mastermind, we were talking about really like your expectations for business ought to be like, it's all going to be hard, because then if some of it feels really easy or you get through it very quickly, then that feels pretty amazing and awesome. And it feels really good. So it's like setting the expectation. For you in design, what I want you to set the expectation for is that it's going to be 50-50. I actually think that's a great way to look at life in general. It's 50-50. So 50% of the time, it really is going to be magical. It's going to be creative. It's going to be fun. You're going to be, all the ideas, all the visions. It's going to be amazing, okay? And 50% of the time, you're doing things you don't love. It's not exciting or cool. But here's the thing. This is the way it is in all of life, guys. It doesn't matter what you're doing in life. In fact, I actually think the odds are worse. Some of you guys know this. You've had careers that you just didn't really enjoy. You've been doing the grind and it hasn't been enjoyable, right? So like most of your time, or a good portion of your time, you really weren't enjoying your life. And the one thing about design is I actually think it's not 50-50. I think it's probably closer to 70-30. There's just like these few little things that I just don't enjoy doing that I have to do in my design business. But if you put the expectation at 50-50, when struggles come along, when things so the thing in Design Suite that people will mention that they don't love doing is uploading their stuff to their shops. I get it. It's not very fun. It's not exciting, not very creative, okay? I get it. Sometimes I hear people who are like, ugh, the production, getting all the files zipped correctly, making sure they're in the right color mode. Like, it's not very fun. It's like detail checking, looking at your computer, making sure all your ducks in a row. I mean, maybe there are some of you, and I know there actually are a few of you, who are like, that is so fun. I love that. That is my jam, okay? Awesome. I love that that's your jam. There's probably something else in the business that you don't really enjoy, okay? That's your like percentage that you have to know, you just have to do, and will be kind of sucky. And that's okay. It's okay for things not to be completely magical all the time. Now, why do I think that's okay? I think the only reason that the design work and the creative process feels so magical is because there are things in business that are very, straightforward, maybe not very fun, and that you just have to do. It makes the creative part far more magical. It's that juxtaposition in our lives that make things better. They always say that in a great story, right? If the more evil the villain is, the better the hero looks, the better the hero seems like really good, right? And that's because the juxtaposition is so great. Same in our design lives. I think one of the beautiful things about being a designer is that we are lucky enough to be creative, to get to work on our computers or sketch on our iPads or paint or draw or whatever it is. And then we get to see our stuff turned into beautiful things. Whether it's on a machine like a Cricut or a Silhouette machine or a Glowforge machine or a sublimation machine, or whether we get to see it in digital fabric or even full manufactured fabric, we get to see the fruits of our labor. And it's super exciting and super.
Hey, did you know that you can visit me at makeanddesign.com to learn more about this podcast and join my VIP group for weekly freebies? I can't wait to see you there.